This meeting was, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again this week, but it was actually better than last week's meeting. My numbers and everything had increased. Last week motivated me for this week. We got to learn a little bit more about who we're working with. The videos and the content that was posted throughout the week, we touched base on today. And I was able to, learn a little bit more about Brian and Jill and Kevin. And yeah, it was overall the meeting itself, though, it was a lot better, I think, just because we got more in depth with different things, got some contacts out, got some of the everyday systems figured out, and being used to its advantage that we can. Not to full potential yet, but I'm getting back into it. And yeah, so no, this meeting was great, and Jocelyne was back, which was a huge plus. Jocelyne actually called out Joe for a couple of mistakes that he's been making and has been ongoing. I personally love it. I think that this is a very good exercise to be taking, especially with the recruits here, both Jill and Brian, specifically because this proves that nobody's perfect. Joe Gonzalez, the owner of Right Choice and the head of the company, along with the broker of record, still makes mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's learning from those mistakes that is going to help you in the long run. If you're continuing to make the same mistakes, you need to sit down and think about why you're making these mistakes and come to the root cause, as we like to say here. But I think it's a great idea. Even when I get called out for mistakes, it's awesome for everybody to see here that nobody's perfect and that mistakes happen, and it's what you do with those mistakes that defines what happens next. As we know, I'm moving back to Welland. Currently I live in Chippewa, so it's a little bit of a drive, but when I'm living back in Welland, I'm looking forward to coming here a lot more often, working side by side with Joe, getting his feedback on things, tossing things around with the Right Choice team, and going from there. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to being able to have a bigger space than last time to mess around in and have a little bit of, I guess you could say, a home away from home with the office. So this week, I think I did a lot better with the data review compared to last week. Last week I had, as Joe says, a few goose eggs, where this week I had numbers beside a lot of my capable system operating features, I guess we could say. So yeah, this week with my data entry and data review, it was a lot better than last week. Seeing Kevin's numbers so high last week and mine having some goose eggs there really motivated me to do much better, and make sure that I was right there in the running to show not only myself and Joe and Kevin what we're capable of doing when we put our minds to it, but also show the recruits what needs to be done when you run and own your own business. Because like I said last week, without putting your foot forward and getting this done, there's no food on the table at the end of the week. So my thoughts on this week's content fire drill was, it was a little like last minute. It was quick acting. We didn't have a lot of time. A lot of us were in the middle of doing other things, but it was really good. It was a really good practice. It was really good to see what we really could do in a split second. When you're in real estate, you don't have that time always to plan it. So to be told, hey, this is a little bit of a challenge. I want you to do this. 11 o'clock's deadline, and it's 10:15 or 9:45, whatever time it was, and you get it done. It's not only a great feeling, but it shows you that you really can do anything if you just stop what you're doing for a couple of minutes and get that task done. So that was really cool. I actually, at first when I read it, I was a little like, darn it, like how am I going to get this done? I got two kids beside me, and then it worked out for the best. I got it done, and it was a fulfilling task, I guess you could say. It made you feel like you did something that you didn't think you could do. So it was pretty cool. So I had some Google Sheets homework. Both Kevin and I were given the task to put each and every one of our deals that we've done in the past, so whether it's a buyer or a seller, on our spreadsheet with their first and last name, phone number, email. Actually, that was it. Just the name, number, email. Make sure that we had everything. And also the address that they purchased or sold. I did get it done. I had 29 total, 27 total. 27 total deals. All of their contacts with all of the information. And why is it important to do this is because without having this information, first of all, you're going to miss detrimental dates. So 1 year, like the 1 year anniversary of somebody purchasing their first home or, moving on to bigger and better things. You're going to miss those dates if you don't have this in your contacts or on a spreadsheet or in some type of software that you can look at and refer to every time. And also it's a big part of your database because you want to know which, like when you're in real estate, you're dealing with a lot of people at all times. So your memory, if it's anything like mine, I'll quote last week, I have a fish like a memory. And I did that on purpose, but we can't always remember the things we did and which properties we sold and what date exactly it was. And it's unfortunate because you really do want to remember all of it, but you can't. So that's where it's very important to have a clean database with this information. And if you're like me currently, I'm still working on fixing up my database, which is the people I know that are closest to me, the people that I've been acquaintances with in the past, or we are friends and have lost touch. It is not as clean as it should be, and this is definitely should have been the very first step that I took to ensuring a clean database. But that is the importance of it. Is you want to make sure that you always have a clean database with as much information as you can have in it, so you're not trying to remember exactly what you did with these people or what you did wrong or some of the challenges you went through or which property even it was or what day you sold that property and they took possession. That's the importance of this task of having a clean database and a good spreadsheet in front of you. So the Google Docs, the fire drills that we called the content and everything else, last minute content, even though currently it's exercise, do I see it as being a part of the business? The answer is yes. I see how it correlates with the business. I understand why it's important and why you need to know how to do these things when running and owning a business. And there's a few simple reasons for that, is because in order to run a successful business, organization is key. While having that organization, you need to be able to stop everything you're doing and deal with a problem at the drop of a dime. And secondly, actually I kind of just said both points, but secondly, being able to deal with tricky situations in a very small amount of time is key, because when you're running and owning your business, whether it's real estate or an automotive store or a mechanic shop, whatever the case or whatever the business is, there's always going to be a situation that is going to seem very tough to get out of, and that's going to take a little bit of time, and with time that you don't currently have at that moment, and somehow you're going to still have to pull through it. And these exercises are showing us that we can do it and kind of teaching us how to do it. It's important in the business world, and knowing your limits is a great way to know, I guess, your success rate. Maybe not your success rate, but overall what steps you can take to get to that success. My health journey is not going as it once was. Since the gyms and everything else have closed, I've been incorporating some bike rides and stuff like that. I haven't gained any weight as far as I know. The scale says it's the same number, so that's what I'm going for. But I didn't go for any bike rides this past week. I was out camping. Alias and I were going to bring our bikes, but last minute we decided not to because we already had a lot of stuff and we weren't sure if we were actually going to be able to go for a bike ride with the stuff that we had planned. So we decided not to bring them, just to have one less thing there. And no wasted space, I guess you could say. But yeah, my health journey, it's going. I'm trying to still eat clean. I had McDonald's for the first time, I believe yesterday. I was in a time crunch to get a quick bite to eat for the first time at 4 p.m. when I was up at 7. So I had to eat something. I grabbed a quick McDouble and a fry, and it was very good, but very gross at the same time. I don't know if people understand that comment, but I don't mind a burger, but when it makes you feel like crap after, it's almost a good thing, because when your body gets used to eating clean and vegetables and, meats every night, and and that's not even really clean eating, but you're eating fresh produce and fresh fruits and everything else every night, and then you put something like that into your body, you instantly notice that you've eaten that. And so I guess how good it was great to know that my body has forgotten about that kind of food, but also that it was just, not what I wanted to eat anyways. So the health journey is going. I'm not working crazy hard at it. I'm just going with it day by day as much as I can. And hopefully once we're finished up all the stuff that Elias and I are currently working on, I can get back into that more. She's actually doing a very good job at her health journey right now. Not that she needed it, she wanted it. So she's working on that. She's doing a lot better at it than I am, but I am still currently down. I believe it's 20 pounds, I want to say. I think it's right around the 20-pound mark since I've started. So not as significant as Joe, but not as bad as it could be. So I just talked about clean eating. Now let's talk about putting crap in your body. And I am a smoker, and I did quit not too long ago. And for some reason, I decided to start again. My plan is to quit smoking, of course, and I've tried a few times, and I've failed each one of those times, which is why I am smoking again. It's not a habit that I enjoy doing, and for some reason it's just one of those things that I can't seem to kick. My plan is to definitely quit within the next couple months. I have to set a date that makes sense. I've been trying recently where I've given myself a random date, which was maybe a week away or 2 weeks away, and it's not. I think that's the number one reason people fail, is they're not giving themselves enough time to prepare for it. When you've been smoking for 14 years, some people deal with things differently. They either just stop smoking that day and never touch a cigarette again in their life, or it's trial and error. So I'm going to try again, and this is the time, not to say I hope I succeed, but I will succeed in the next couple of months. I'm going to pick a date, and this time I'm going to stick to it. I just don't know when that date is, or how it's going to happen, or when it's going to happen. I want to achieve, first of all, a little bit of my database. I want to start getting that back up and running, and start following up with some more people to update my contacts. That's a big one that I've been pushing off for a little while, that I really think I need to get back into. When I got all of my deals together and all of my past clients or buyers and sellers, I realized that it's something I really should be doing, and I shouldn't be pushing it off. That should be top priority. So that's one of my achievements this week, is to do at least a couple a day if I can. Not if I can, I will. I have to do it. And keeping my software and the data entry up to date. Every time that I complete a task, making sure that I'm checking off that task and setting another task for the next, few days or the next week or month, whatever it is. Just making sure that I'm checking my phone more often than what I have been this last week, because it's helped me quite a bit to achieve what I had said I wanted to last week. So just going full force. I have to try to. I mentioned last week that I want to start kicking it back up and getting back into fifth gear, and that I'm back in service. And it's not that I never was in service, but I wasn't really pushing for it. I was kind of laying back with Aliessa while she was off, and taking some time for us during the pandemic. But it gets to a point where you need to get back into the rhythm of things, and this is it. I need to start kicking it up, whether it's a gear a week or a gear every couple days. It's got to get more and more and more, and the more positive outcome that you see of things is going to help those gears kick up faster. So the more you do now is going to help you more later than slow and steady, I guess you could say. Camping was amazing. Had 4 good days with with my wife, my cousin Cody, and his girlfriend Megan. It was a lot of fun. We just had bonfires nonstop. Great food for camping, you know, steak, chicken, burgers, no hot dogs. I ate one hot dog. I can't remember. Anyways, lots of good food, vegetables, swimming in the Grand River, which was fun. The current there is insane, so one wrong move and you are swept away. Not dangerously, because it's only about a foot deep, but you know, when you got the floaty, she'll take you pretty quick.